see if it grabs it. It's being weird. Like I've done this 20 times and it's not. There I am. Like I said, it'll be like a little bit of lag in what you're seeing on the screen versus what you hear me saying. All right, so what we're going to do is start with all kinds of different selections. And as I watch some of you do some work, I can see you've learned a little bit about selections. So I'm going to jump to Schoology here and just start from the top. So if you could be looking at Schoology. Of course, we're going to go into digital graphic design. I'm going to go into our Photoshop unit. And then I'm going to select Group Instructions Selections. And then you'll see there's a file already in there. I click it once, it'll bring it up on my screen here. Now I'm going to just save image as. And I'm just going to call it Selections. I'm going to select Save. Now I'm just doing this in my default pictures folder. For now, I just need it there because I'm just going to insert it into Photoshop. So if I come back to Schoology, you also have the button to download image. I just did it a Save As. And actually, if we do it this way, we may get a better picture quality than saving the JPEG. Or if we're back in Schoology, it launches it in a new window, but if here I can hit download image. So work with your teacher to identify different ways to make selections. So we're going to basically put this little scene together but use different techniques for each part of it. So I'll jump back to Photoshop. Now I'm going to do File, Open. And then I'm going to grab that folder or that picture I just saved. So everybody get to this spot right here. All right. if you look over to the right in your layers panel, you'll see that it's identified this as a background. And there's a padlock on it, so it means it's locked. And so we need to double click that. And actually it popped up on my other menu. So I'm going to step backward so you see the option. So I'm going to double click the padlock, and you should get a screen like this. I'm just going to select OK, and what it did is it converted that background into a layer. If it has a padlock on it, we can't change anything. Just give everybody just a second there. So what I'm going to do is on the second tool down, if I hold down the mouse, again, it shows me all the options for this tool. And we're going to start with the rectangular marquee. You can also right click on these. So I'm going to select rectangular marquee. And I'm going to come over here to this, it looks like a patch of brick. And I'm just going to try to draw close to I can around it. And you should see the dotted ants around it. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Remember, zooming is Alt mouse wheel. So you should see my dotted ants here, and then I'm going to switch to the move tool. And you should see my mouse now has it's like a pair of scissors. So then I'm just going to drag this over here like that. Then, since I have this moved, I'm going to go ahead and up at the top, because we're working in selections at the top menu at the very top of your screen, I'm going to select, then choose deselect, so that I have nothing selected, so it won't affect anything else on my next step. I want to move the tree trunk next. So I'm going to go, and the third one down, I'm going to hold down the mouse to see all the options, and I'm going to choose magnetic lasso. Magnetic lasso, and it works just like a magnet, and it lassos whatever you want. So magnetic lasso, and I'm going to come up right against this, and it recognizes the edge of this tree. So I just click my mouse, and it creates the endpoints. And if you can't reach far, you need to readjust your hand or anything, just do a click so it gets an accurate cut. And you can see it's recognizing the difference, so it's going right up to the key to this is where I started is where I need to end. So I have my mouse in that starting point, and then I click and it closes the selection, so now you can see the ants around the trunk. So I'm going to apply the same technique. I'm going to go to the move tool. I'm going to click on the trunk and drag it over here. I'm going to go with the third one down this time. And I'm going to go with the polygonal lasso tool because this creates different shapes. So it's a third one down. I'm going to select the polygon. And I'd probably need to redo mine. I can just hit escape and redo it. But essentially, I'm tracing it in the shape of a triangle. Now I'm going to switch to my move tool and drag that over here. Then again, I'm going to do a select, deselect. So I have nothing selected before I move to the next tool. Now we can do the tree. There's a little extra step we're here, so make sure you're listening. So this time I'm going to go the second one and get an elliptical marquee, which is an ellipse or a circle. This takes a little practice in grabbing circles because of how they stretch out. You can always hit escape or just redraw it. So I'm just redoing it here to try to grab the circle a little better. And if I hold the shift key, it'll do a perfect circle versus stretching it out or making an oval. So I hold down the shift to get a perfect circle. What I'm doing here is I drug it over, just like before with my move tool. After I have it moved, I've selected Alt, and you should see your mouse duplicates your mouse pointer into a black and white one. So it's creating copies each time I drag. So this is how I'm giving it a little bit of dimension to look like a tree. That's Alt. I have my selection active, Alt mouse click, and it's letting me duplicate it. Then I'm going to go select, deselect. Also, my top is a little goofed up, but that's okay. And that's an easy way to copy stuff. You just hold the Alt and drag it. Next, I'm going to go, it should be the fourth one down, the fourth tool down. And I'm going to select the magic wand. Then we'll need to take a quick glance at the toolbar. Tolerance, because the magic wand basically selects one color, and anything that's that color, it grabs it. But we can modify that with tolerance because it allows for like a different shade. So it'll allow us to grab that a little more. So I'm going to switch it to 25. And make sure contiguous is selected. And then I'm going to go down and click with my magic wand. And it's not quite grabbing everything. So I'm going to hold down Shift I'm just keeping shift held down and clicking on more of this grass to try to get a little more of it. Then I'm going to switch to my move tool. And then I'm going to drag my grass over here. I might even add grass in front of the house. I can do my duplicate. Then I'm going to do select, deselect. Now we're going to grab our cloud, except this time we're going to use lasso. Lasso is pretty much like drawing freehand. And the faster you draw, the smoother it will be. Because if I go slow, it'll be a little choppy. And it does take practice, and we're not using pen tools, so we're drawing with the mouse. And I'm going to select my move tool and grab myself some cloud cover. And again, a select, deselect. And you could even duplicate those if you wanted to. You can see my cloud's a little choppy. I'm going to move the door. So I'm going to do rectangle marquee again. I would need to fix the grass or put the grass on second. So I'm going to go back to my magic wand and see if I can move this grass. I don't want it behind the door. It doesn't look right. But now I cut out everything. Oops. You don't want to do that. So we don't want to goof it up, so I'm going to just do a quick selection here. I'm just going to add some grass there. We'll learn more about having this on layers and moving selections in that regard a little later. Next, I'm going to come down, it's the fifth one down, to the crop tool, because we don't want our construction paper we cut everything out of. And you'll see the corners have your crop marks, and I can come here to the middle, and I just want our final project. Then at the top of the screen, I'll hit the check mark to approve my change. And now I have a finished document. Then I'm going to do a, just click onto my move tool just because I like to be off the crop before I do anything else. So as we talked about last time, we have two files. We have the project file, which is the Adobe file, and the product, which is the picture. So I need to save both, so File, Save As. And this is going to be my selections practice. So that is the Photoshop file. If you get this pop up, just hit OK. Then I'm going to do File, Save for Web. You should get a screen like this. Make sure you switch to PNG 24 and then hit Save. We can use the same save name because this is a different file type. Now please remember, you're submitting the picture. Already some kids who turned in work are turning in the Photoshop file. I need the picture, the image. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, and it's completed. At that point, you can submit it to Schoology as an assignment. Right here, as a student, you'll have the submit options, and then you'll all be completed with this project.